So it may not look like anything to you, but I'm actually mowing my lawn while I'm talking to you right now. Now what I'm talking about is this guy back here. Now this is the Mammotion Yuka robotic lawnmower, and there's a lot of really cool stuff about this specific lawnmower that you're gonna wanna know. To get all the legal stuff out of the way, yes, Mammotion did send me the Yuka, and no, they did not send me a script or anything that I had or couldn't talk about. So the opinions about this mower are all my own, and I'm gonna show you exactly everything that you need to know from my personal experience with this mower over the last 2 months. All right, so a little bit more transparency. A lot of these robotic lawnmower companies and companies in general will send a product out to an influencer and want them to crank out a video within a week or two. That is not the experience that I'm going to be talking about. I've had this specific mower on my lawn for well over 2 months at this point, because I couldn't recommend or not recommend a product that's well over $1,000 if I hadn't actually been using it. So if you're watching this video, you're probably fairly familiar with robotic lawnmowers and what they are, but I want to give you my insight as someone who's owned several of them at this point and has been using them for over 2 years, for what I really think about robotic lawnmowers and where they fit into lawn maintenance. Now, a robotic lawnmower typically uses a cutting disc with small razor blades on it, and this is no exception. Now, the difference between this and many others on the market is that this has 2 cutting discs that gives you 12 inches, 12.59 inches of cutting width, which is significantly larger than many of the other competitors on the market that are typically anywhere from 7 to 9 inches of cutting width. Big plus for this. Now, a robotic lawnmower is more of a lawn maintainer and less of a lawn mower. And what I mean by that is a robotic lawnmower is not meant to take your grass from really tall down to really short. That's not where these mowers shine. Where they really shine, and where this one specifically shines, is when you get your lawn to the desired height, you set it easily on the dial on top, and then turn this sucker loose and have it mow. For me, I've been having it mow every single day. You can figure out your mowing schedule for what works best for your lawn, but for me, it's been every single day. And what this does is, instead of taking lots of the blade of the grass off of there, it takes off microscopic, tiny little parts, and those fall back into the grass and they disappear. Mammotion makes 2 different models of this. This is the Yuka 2000 model, and the 2000 model is made to mow up to a half an acre. And I have found that that is more than capable of doing that out of this specific machine. Now, there's a handful of things that make this unique and make it different from a lot of the mowers that are on the market. So I already talked about how it has dual cutting discs. I think that's really awesome. It makes a ton of sense. Then one of the other things that are really interesting and different about this is that there is a single wheel in the front that is on a caster, and then in the rear there are 2 wheels that are the actual drive wheels for this machine. Now, when I first got this, I thought that that was going to be kind of an odd thing and that it wouldn't work very well. But from my experience with it so far, that's been far from the case. This works fantastic. It's not gotten stuck. It's not gotten, in any sort of trouble where the single wheel in the front will have been a hindrance to it at all. Now, another thing that is unique to this mower are the cameras on it. So there's cameras on the front here and also on the top. That's a rear-facing camera. Now, these cameras are used for a handful of different things. The first thing that they are used for is for object avoidance and recognition for where the mower is in your lawn. So this mower is constantly taking pictures and video and storing that so it knows exactly where it is in relation to your lawn. So what that does is allow it to not get stuck or lost, even when it doesn't have the best signal. And I found that to be the case honestly, this mower has not gotten lost or stuck one time. And when you compare that to some of the older models of mowers that are out there, you can see where the technology has really advanced. So if you look here on the top, there's a couple of things that you're going to see. First off is you're going to see your height of cut adjustment. Now, I am one who likes to tinker in my lawn. I have places in my lawn where I like to mow at one height and places where I like to mow at another height. So this is just my preference, and it may not be something that's important to you, but to me, I personally would like it to where I was able to set in the app remotely the height for each cutting section. And with this mower, that's not the case. It's a manual adjustment right here on top. You change it like this, and you set it and forget it. So like I said, may not be a big issue for you, but for me, it's something that I'm like, I don't love it. So another thing that's unique to this mower that a lot of other mowers don't have is the cutting deck itself. So this cutting deck is dynamic and it floats to contour to the actual contour of your lawn. Now, from my experience, you can see how it has floated along with the areas in my lawn that are not super level. I think that's a big win, and I think that Mammotion hit it out of the park with that one. Now, like all other robotic lawn mowers, changing the blades or sharpening your blades is super simple. You only have to use a Phillips head screwdriver, undo these 3 Phillips head screws on each disc, pop on new blades, and then you're ready to go. So there's 2 other things that are unique to this mower. One of them is kind of gimmicky in my mind, and the other one could be potentially useful if you're dealing with a lot of lawn debris. So the first one is this mower is capable of what Mammotion calls lawn printing. Now what lawn printing is in the Mammotion app, there are several different designs that you can put onto your lawn where this mower will essentially create a no-mow zone and not mow there, which will allow the grass to go taller in that area, thus printing a design. Now, I tried this out on my lawn and it does work. It doesn't show up fantastic. So for me, it's kind of a gimmick. I don't know that it's something that I would do long term or really care about long term, but it is an option if you are interested in it. Now, the last thing about this mower that makes it unique is that Mammotion offers a bagger that goes on the back of this mower that you can program to sweep the lawn and pick up all of the debris. I'm talking grass clippings, leaves, small twigs, that kind of a thing. Pick all that up out of your lawn, and then you designate an area to dump, and this will do that automatically. Now, we've seen sweeping in other robotic lawnmowers in the past, like the EcoFlow blade, and every other sweeper that we've seen so far has not really worked well. I haven't had my hands on this, but from what I can see, the sweeper has worked great for people, and the ability for it to self-empty is a game changer in my mind. So one of the other things about this mower that I really like is the cutting height. Now, this mower will cut from 1.18 inches all the way up to almost 4 inches, which is way more dynamic than many of the other mowers that are out there at this point. So if you're concerned about putting stripes in your lawn, one of the cool things about this mower is this mower will be capable of doing that for you. Now, you are able to program exactly the direction that you want this mower to go. So it can go a number of different ways. You can go down and back, you can do cross cutting, and there's a couple of other options as well that make it to where you can dial in exactly how you want this mower to mow. Now let's talk about the things that I don't really love about this specific mower. Now, this is an RTK mower, meaning you have to have a localized RTK beacon. So one of the most frustrating things about these RTK mowers is that they need to have direct line of sight with your mower, and they also have to be clear line of sight to the sky. So that means you're not going to be able to hide it behind bushes or anything like that. It's going to have to be out in the open. Now I have mine here, which is right in the front, and I don't really love the location of it. So they do offer options to mount this on the side of your house. I didn't elect to do that, but you could do that if you want. Installation of this mower was one of the easiest installations that I have done at this point. But there is a caveat to that. When you do get this mower, make sure you update not only the firmware on the mower, but the firmware on the RTK station as well. When I first initially tried to install this mower, I updated the firmware on the mower like I have done on several other mowers, and then tried to install it unsuccessfully for a long time. But big shout out to Mammotion support, because I talked to them, they walked me through it, and once I updated the firmware on the actual RTK beacon, the mower installation was a breeze. So to wrap it up, guys, overall, if you're looking for a robotic mower and the Yuka is on your short list, I would say it's definitely worth picking up. As far as pricing goes, this is a very competitive price for what you're getting out of this mower. There are certainly more expensive mowers, but there are also cheaper mowers. So this lands kind of right in the middle of the price point, and I think what you get from it is a mower that's going to work really, really well and do exactly what you need out of it. So that's all I've got for the Yuka robotic lawnmower from Mammotion. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to leave them down in a comment. If this video was helpful to you, please consider subscribing. I love you guys, I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.